Matthew Mills here. Welcome to our very first live stream of In the Kitchen with Chef Brian cooking class. This is exciting. We're trying something very new here today. Not only are we live streaming Chef Brian and seeing all of his magic, but we're also joined by 8 participants in 4 participating locations. So since this is the very first time that we've done this, it could be a dumpster fire or it could be super duper awesome. So you get to be here to find out with us how well it goes. All right, so to introduce everybody, we have our 4 participating locations. First off, we've got Kenneth and Tara Lee. Go ahead and wave. There you are.
Woo-hoo!
Hey, guys. We've got Mike and Kat here with Rachel in the background somewhere. She's hanging out there. And we've got Kaylin. Hello, Kaylin. How you doing? And we've got Carrie and Richard, who is also joining us as well. They're running into some technical issues, so they will be joining us midstream. So here I'm in the command center, and I'll be doing all the switching and getting all the cameras and stuff done. And then there's also everybody in the comments. And so that reminds me, if you have a comment and you'd like to contribute to the discussion, feel free. We can see your comments just fine. And if we spot your comment, it adds to the discussion. We'll go ahead and post it up for everybody to see. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to subscribe so you can be part of the action the next round, because being live is a lot more fun. And one last introduction to make is our very own magician. He's our very own instructor and 20-year cooking veteran, Chef Brian. Chef, I understand you have an amazing dish ready for us today. How about you give us a little overview of what's going on?
Okay, thank you, Matt. It's good to be here tonight. It's good to be with family. Tonight we're going to make one of my favorite dishes. This is going to be Chicken Marsala, served over a bed of pasta. I really enjoy doing this chicken dish. It's just really yummy. It's of course it comes with mushrooms, and mushrooms aren't my highlighted favorite, but Kim and Trista really love them, and so I love making this dish for them. First, we're going to get started in our prep. We're going to prep some mushrooms, some sliced garlic, some minced shallots, and then we'll jump into the chicken afterwards. So let's get started. Just got a plain package of mushrooms here, got from the store today, our local Smith's. Now on your mushrooms, you guys, I like to just put them out on the board. If you get mushrooms that are, you don't like the way they look, they're a little bit dirty, you want to clean them up, whatever your thing is, you can take just, excuse me, one second. Let me grab some paper towel right here. Just take a normal paper towel. I like to fold it up into quarters. Just get it a tiny bit wet. Just so it's just really damp. Because we don't really want to soak the mushrooms. For instance, on the mushroom here, there's just some extra stuff on there. If you wipe it nice and easy, some of that stuff just comes right off, and it's just an easy way to clean the mushrooms. Okay, these actually have been pre-washed, but I like to just wash them one more time because sometimes they just have those little black things on there, and we don't want those black things in our dish.
Right over there.
And then sometimes on them too, the stems are kind of a little bit yucky. Of course, we'll cut that part off. After you get the mushrooms done, we'll get the slice in here just 1 second. With this dish, you can also use the baby bella if you're really into mushrooms. It's the cremini. It's what they call it in the store, but it's also called baby bella because it's between this kind of mushroom and a portobello. They do have nice color, really rich flavor, but these work nice. They're very versatile. Okay, I'm gonna re-put those in a pile there. And of course, I like my chef knife. You're more than welcome to use a paring knife, but I'm really into my chef knife. So first, we just want to take that stem off, put that to the side, all of them. Okay, down on the stem it just gets a little bit brown, and we don't need that much stem in our dish. We want mostly just the mushroom cap. So you can cut those right up close like that. Keep your stuff over to your right, out of your way. This mushrooms here was an 8-ounce pack, half a pound, and it's enough to make about three recipes of this chicken marsala. So if it was just you and your hubby, or you could just get away with about 5 of them. But we got all these. Okay, we want to disregard the bad parts there. Got a little sanitary cloth here. Clean that board back up real quick. Over there. Right here, by the film mat. Sorry, you guys. Thank you. Just need a dry towel there. Okay, and now we want to put a slice on the mushrooms. For me, I like to just make a flat level edge so my mushroom don't roll when I'm chopping. And we just want to do about 1/8 of an inch thick, okay? Really pretty simple. You guys, you understand why. You can slice them whole without the edge, but for me, it's just a lot easier. So then once you get going, you can just go through the mushrooms really quick there. Mushrooms are really nice in most recipes used. Man, they saute up so nice. They're gonna marry very well with the shallots and the garlic in this dish. So for you that maybe don't have the Chicken Marsala wine, we can call this just a mushroom chicken tonight. That stem kind of snuck in there.
Tristina says hi from YouTube.
Okay, now we're gonna take our mushrooms. I got some monkey dishes here. I like to just kind of even portion them out there for the sauteing purposes. After this, we're gonna jump into our shallots and our garlic. Okay, we need to clean that again. Clean your knife off. There. Okay. So I bought the whole head of garlic. The way I like to do this, you guys, is just you want to be firm with your strongest hand and just put a little pressure down on the garlic, kind of rolling it back and forth in your hand until it starts to break like that. We don't really want it broken all the way because we want to see some of the garlic heads that are still whole. So we're just going to pull a few of those out of there. Okay. For this dish, I like to use 5. So they're right there. Beautiful. All the rest can go back in our dish there. You can disregard all this and use the rest in a later time. Get rid of your skin. The garlic skin is really paperish. Is everyone doing okay with their mushrooms? All done? All done. Okay, so now with the garlic, we want to get this next layer of skin off. I like to do this is just pick out, put your knife about 3/4 of the way up, your chef's knife if you have one, and just give that a little smack. We don't want to crush the garlic because we want to be able to keep it all intact. Okay, so we want to get that skin off for now. You don't want to hit it too hard, but just hard enough to crack that skin. Okay, And then just peel that. Whoops. If it's not peeling well for you, you might have to just smash it again. The skin on these is really kind of tough. So it's not very nice to get a little piece of that in your dish. Especially when we're entertaining our guests. Whoops, that needs another little smack. There we go. Okay. Get all that paper off again. Like that a little bit. Okay, so now we want to take off the ends, the bad end of the garlic right there. Okay. It's not really a bad end, it's just where it's rooted into the, whoop, that one still has a little bit of paper on there. Okay. Take off that other end. It's usually just a brown end that's stuck to the post in the middle of the garlic. Okay. Disregard those. And the garlic is really sticky, you notice. So it's good and fresh. Nice. Another piece of skin. So now we like to slice these as thin as possible. If you're not real comfortable with the chef knife, you're welcome to use the paring knife, but I am very comfortable with the chef's knife. So we just want to get in there and just slice those really thin. Okay? So out of each garlic, you're going to get probably, there's like 20 slices right there. You can see them laid out, but they saute up really nice when they're whole like that. Okay, so we just want to do all that garlic. And I'm making sure I'm doing enough for the 3 dishes. So for one dish, 2 cloves would be plenty. Or one portion. I'm making. And it does help, of course, if your knives are really sharp. I try to keep mine very sharp. It's just so much easier to work with a sharp knife than a dull knife. Okay. Now we want to add those to our monkey dish collection up here. That sounded funny, didn't it? Okay.
How are we doing on speed? We got we got Mike dancing over here. He's ready to go.
Oh, yeah, he's waiting on me? Wow.
You gotta unmute your microphone there, Mike. We can't hear you.
I'm good on this end. We're good.
We're good. How's Kaylin doing? Thumbs up?
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Are you sure we're okay on speed? Because I can way slow down.
I can't unmute you. There you go.
Uh-oh.
I am still slicing my garlic.
All right. We'll give her a little more time.
Yeah,
a little more time. Kenneth and Tara Lee are looking good. Big thumbs up.
You can wear gloves doing this, and it makes it less sticky, but you can't get that paper off good enough with the gloves for me anyways. So we're going to cook all this anyway, so it's fine.
Wait, which way were we slicing the garlic? Like
the same way you take off Kaylin, the same way you take off where the brown head is right here.
Yeah.
Just lay that and cut it across. So if you're looking at the garlic, it would actually be the short way across.
Okay.
Across the thing.
No, I'm okay.
You okay? Ready to jump into the shallot?
And that's one of the good things about live stream is that sometimes we get caught up in the speed and taking care of everything, but sometimes it's good to slow down a little bit, take a breath. And,
yeah.
So
maybe have a drink of water.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Hydrate up.
Yeah, I'll hydrate up. With my favorite hydration.
Awesome. All right.
Okay, so we're back to we're going to mince a shallot now. Shallots are really nice, but they're so powerful. So we're only going to need a little bit of this, but we're going to mince the whole thing. Okay, so we like to take that, it's kind of like an onion. Well, it is an onion, but It's not a baby purple onion like some people say. Okay, then I like to just take mine and cut that in half. Okay, now I'm going to peel that skin off. You want to get to that beautiful purple color in there. It's nice. I always take besides the skin layer, I always take one more layer off. Okay, so we got 3 little pieces right here. And I basically like to mince a shallot kind of the same way I do an onion. And the smaller your cuts are in between your lines that we're going to put in the onion, in the shallot, makes it easier to mince when you turn it the other way to mince it. So we want to cut our lines not all the way through, but you just want to almost like you're going to fan this out like a Asian fan type thing. So you want to go all the way down to the cutting board, but not all the way through the shallot on this side. That makes sense? Okay, so we'll do it again on this one.
You want to do it?
So I like to put the bigger side towards me, and just cut that right to all the way. You want to get the tip of your blade almost to the tip of the shallot. And the width that we're making our cuts is how small your mince is going to be. So we got one more here. This is just a little bottom piece. So then I like to turn the shallots, and the cut is still on this side. The non-cut side is on this side, my left. So then I like to take my knife and just run that up the middle of that shallot, almost all the way through again. So you can see how it's on the knife there. Whoops. Okay. Do the next one the same. You do have to watch your fingertips, of course. Okay, then we just want to take our knife and just barely mince that, okay? Just cut your cuts really thin. And then it's already minced, so it's perfect for this dish, okay? Kind of the same as slicing the garlic. You want to go that thin of a cut. When you get down to the end, if it's hard to hold or unmanageable cutting, just turn it on its side and cut it, and you can come back and turn it over one more time and recut it. And it'll sit there flat for you. Okay? Then you can just go right through that shallot. Get that minced really nice. So you can see that I've left just a couple of chunks in there. You can just hit that one more time, and that'll break them chunks up so it's nice and small, okay? Then we want to add that to our monkey dish collection, or our dish collection, sorry.
Why do they call it a monkey dish, Brian?
It used to be, I think it's just restaurant lingo, but back in the day, these are the same dishes we used to serve next to a slice of prime rib, and it was actually an au jus dish. So I think it's just a nickname that has just been in the kitchens a long time. But monkey dishes are always really nice for salt and pepper mixture. You know, you have them, they're mobile. You can move them to the stove. They're all over. They're usually all over the kitchen. So it's kind of like a monkey that would be all over.
Nice.
Hey, yes.
Your wife says hi from YouTube, by the way.
Okay. She's not feeling good today. She's sick, or she would have been here with us.
That's right.
Besides watching, so she is, I guess. Okay, so we got these items prepped. We got our mushrooms. I do have one monkey dish of salt and pepper. One monkey dish of some chicken bouillon or chicken base. We can move into making our stock because we actually want to get our stock on the stove and get it warming. Okay, so I got me a little handy vessel here. I'm just going to take that base, get that down in there, add some hot water, and make my chicken stock. Whoever has chicken stock, measure it out. You only need a cup to 2 cups. Okay? Be right back.
Kimber says hi as well.
Oh, Kimber. Woo! Wonder how Kimber's doing. Okay, got 2 cups there. Got a fine whisk here. So we're just going to really whisk the heck out of that and get this on the stove. So total, that was about 1.5 teaspoons of chicken base. Of course, the chicken base I use it's really strong. So it's nice. I use that instead of buying chicken stock. But we do want to make sure that we taste this and make sure our stock is what I like to call alive. So it's got to be. We got our tasting spoons right here. So we'll use one of those. Make sure that
Hey,
stock.
Brian,
Yes.
if I use chicken stock, would I use salted or non-salted?
It's okay if it's salted. But
Okay.
most chicken bases that you buy will start with chicken bones, chicken bone marrow, chicken meat, vegetables, mirepoix, which is carrots, onion, celery, and then comes salt. So if you buy a chicken base that starts with salt, then maybe put that one back on the shelf and buy a little bit better one. It might cost a little bit more money, but it's well worth it. Okay, so my stock is ready. Really like the taste of it. I'm gonna put mine on the stove and just get that burning. Not burning, sorry, heating up. And we just want that on low flame. So it's gonna be sitting there for a while, okay? So if we can just, maybe we can see the flame better there. We just want that on real low. Because it doesn't have to be scalding hot, but we want it warm. So the chicken base in there in the stock comes alive. Okay, so we just want that little flame on there. Probably about, on this stove, it's on 2. Okay, dirty spoon in the sink. I'll wash my hands real quick. Okay, okay. All right, so now let's jump into our seasoned flour. Rinse that off. So it's dry for the flour. And in our seasoned flour, we're just using today all-purpose flour and kosher salt and pepper. Okay, so I have 2 cups of flour already pre-measured out here, my little tub. Okay, get rid of that. Kosher salt is going to be 1 tablespoon. There we go. And we're just going to whisk that together. Kind of also fluffs up the flour a little bit, keeps it light. Okay, there's our seasoned flour for dredging the chicken. I do have another pan similar, so I have a pan for dredging and a pan to hold my chicken. So now we can jump into our chicken. Everyone caught up? We're ready? Oh, one more thing. One more thing before the chicken. We got to cube our butter. Okay, and the butter, man, you want this really cold, just not frozen, but really cold, so it's just easier to cube, okay? So I got 2 1/4 pounds here. Butter is a little bit more expensive, but man, it's so good in this dish, and I love cooking with butter and olive oil together. So again, I'm using my chef knife. You're welcome to use a boning knife on this one, but the chef knife just has a little bit more power for me, so I like it. We want to go down the middle. Really simple. If your butter is really, really cold, almost frozen, and your knife isn't going through it, you can run your knife under hot water just a little bit and then come do it. You just don't want it too wet or too hot, because it'll just melt the butter. We don't want the butter melted. So now we're going to go back down through there. Okay, so now we got 4 little pieces. Okay, we want to stack them back together and cube it. Okay, we're doing a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. And the reason why we're cubing the butter, oh man, I need another dish. Oh, tasting spoon just lost their vessel. It's going to melt into the sauce and help the sauce just become yummy. Okay, and we're using some to start off to saute the chicken as well. So again, we just go down through there into the 4 pieces, and we're going to cube that. So it'd be 5 cuts through there. Okay, there's our butter. That one okay? There. Okay, we got to clean our knife again. Get that clean. Of course, this towel that I keep using is my sanitary towel. So I'm going to get a new one. Sorry, I had to jump away for a second. Okay, now we're going to jump into our chicken. So sorry about that, a little misdirection there. We have our chicken breast from the local store here, about 2 random breasts. They're already trimmed and cleaned, but we're going to trim them and clean them again, just to make sure that we're on point with this dish. And these chicken breasts are really nice. Each one probably weighs about 10 ounces. So it's a big chicken breast. And both of them are really nice, but you can see on the chicken, there's still stuff that they missed. And so, whoops, I shouldn't actually throw that on there yet. We want to give these just a little rinse. Make sure we wash that chicken. I need to get that back over there. Okay. All right, so back to the cutting board. So they're rinsed now. We can just lay them out on the cutting board. I do have a special towel just for the chicken because you want to just kind of get that water off there. Just tap that a little bit, get the excess water off. We don't want it too wet, and then we disregard that towel. Okay, need another sanitary towel. Okay. All right, we're back. Yeah. Whoops. Okay, so this chicken here, we're going to put this guy over here. We want to turn him over and see if we can find some stuff. There's usually a long vein on the side where the chicken breasts are split, but it also has just this little bit extra fat stuff on here where they cut the bone out. So we just want to trim that out. We want to get that yucky stuff off. And it's not yucky enough to throw away. This is what you would use to build your stock, but we just don't want to eat that stuff because it's almost like there's just a little piece of cartilage right there. Okay. If you have to get in there a little bit, just run a V-cut and get that little section out. Just like that. But do save this to the side, okay? For your stock. Okay, so now we want to do both of those. Whoops, oh no, that's fine. Get that out of there. Do be careful when you're cutting towards yourself because you're not supposed to. So the rest, the one section that I was talking about has already been cleaned off. So now here comes the part that is a little tricky. So you want to smooth that breast out. Okay, try to get it just in its natural state there. Get it kind of uniform. And now we want to make our little fillets. So what we're going to do is just take our knife and you're going to use the palm of your hand to feel the knife going through there, okay? And these cuts are going to be thin cuts, okay? So we're going to get at least 3 to 4 cuts out of this chicken, one breast, okay? So there's one, okay? Whoops. There's another. And we tried to, when you're cutting the chicken, you want to try to, gosh, I hacked that all to death, dang. I turn over. You want to try to get them similar to size. Okay. So on these breasts, it looks like we're going to get 4 out of each one. Oops. Such in there. Okay, we're going to trim that up just a little bit right there. Okay, so these will go into our transfer pan for now. So we have room on the board. You don't want to ever crowd yourself on the board. Here we go with this one. We're going to do another one. Okay, and you should feel the knife going under your palm there. Okay. There's another one. Whoops. It does get a little risky. Cutting towards your palm there, especially mine. Okay, one more. Let's see if we can get 5 out of this one, but I'm going to have to turn it over because this side is a little bit thicker. I'll be able to get a little bit better grab right there. One more there. That one's okay. Not the best looking. So now we want to, oh, dang. Can you get me that dish out of the sink? Oh, never mind. I just gotta step over the sink for a minute. Get a spare monkey dish, and this is where I'm gonna keep my scraps. Okay, we'll just keep those right there. Okay, now to the transfer pan. Okay, and so we're done with the cutting board here. For a moment, I need to get this one out of here. And the knife. Rinse those off. Wash my hands. My sanitizer. Rinse again. Okay, and then I do have another board, and this one's just going to be for pounding the chicken. Okay, so you did notice that we had some fillets that are nice. These little ones that are this shape are just right. They're okay, but we're going to pound them all just so we know how to pound the chicken. Okay, and this is what you want to do. You want to take a piece of plastic wrap, film wrap, tear you off a piece. The size of your cutting board is best. Okay. Then we're going to take another piece and leave it on our plastic wrap. And now we're going to line our chicken breast up on here. Okay. You can do them all at once or just a few. It just depends on how big your cutting board is and your prep surface. So we'll try to do 8 pieces here. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, maybe 9. No, not 9. Okay, 1 second. Gotta wash your hands again. Sanitize them. Okay, so now we'll take that other piece of plastic we had torn and lay it over your chicken breast. Okay. Couple reasons why we're doing this. This helps kind of hold the chicken in place. When we are hammering the chicken with our meat mallet, it does tend to want to shoot off or move and stuff. This will actually hold it in place, so it's really nice. Keeps it stable. Okay. Put that down there. Okay. So with the flat part of your mallet, we want to just start at the one side of the chicken and just slightly pound these just a little bit. And the reason behind we're doing this is we want all our chicken pieces to be the same thickness. So when we're cooking them, we know that they're going to all be done at the same time. If you
Ryan, if you don't have a meat mallet, what do you use instead?
So this is what you could do. You can use your palm. I'm going to show you with my right hand, and you just want to tap on it with your palm, but you don't want to be like, oh man, I got an F on my test. You know what I mean? You want to be like, oh, it's not too bad, just gentle, but you still want to spread that just a little bit, and you can feel with your hand, which is maybe another good reason to use the palm. You can feel the thickness of the chicken. This just works for me. It's just a lot easier. If your palm doesn't work or the meat mallet, you can always break out a rolling pin, but the rolling pin is pretty heavy. So it'll really smack the chicken. And this will spread your chicken out, so it does give you a lot more plate coverage. And this is similar to as pounding the chicken to make for cordon bleu. Same kind of situation. So most of mine are all pretty even. That one just needed that little smack there. Okay, we're going to disregard our mallet. Okay, so now, if we had a bunch of these to do, we could just take the plastic and put it onto a cookie sheet, but we're done. So we're just going to undo that top layer because they move really easy together when the plastic's still together. So if we had to do like 60 or 70 of these. Okay, we'll move our plastic. We're going to dump this over here real quick.
While you're doing that, let's check in on our people. How are we doing?
Yeah.
Perry and Richard, thumbs up. Oh, it's all right. You're muted. How about now?
I'm taking out my frustration on the chicken.
They were falling behind just a little bit, but we're okay.
All right. Okay. How's Mike and Rachel doing? And Kat?
We're doing awesome. Actually, Kat's running the knives over here, and she is doing
Thanks for joining us, Kat. It's been a while.
All right, Kaylin, how are you doing? Big thumbs up from Kaylin. Awesome. You have to unmute on your side. Sorry.
So in case anybody wants to see all your chicken, all your chicken for this dish, we want it about that thickness. Okay. So this one's actually ideal because you put like two pieces to an order. It's just really nice with the pasta.
Can you show that one more time, Carrie or Ryan?
Yeah. Either one of these. I really like this one. You could almost see my fingers through it, and the thickness, man, it's like that's like a 1/16 maybe. So really nice. So now I'm just gonna take them and lay them in my travel pan. Okay.
This one. Can you read this again, please?
Sure.
Disregard the plastic. Okay, you're gonna re-sanitize since I just kept you touching the chicken again.
Everybody's sanitizing well, right? We're good.
Yeah, even if you're not, you're cooking your food all together, so you're okay. It's just well, other places I have to do it all day. So sorry, Matt.
It's all good.
So now I'm gonna move my chicken and my flour over to my cooking vessel. At this time, I'm gonna get my pasta water ready. Get some water on there to boil. I'm just using a flat rice pan, but I love cooking pasta in these pans. I know with a deeper pan, it gives you more room to do your pasta, but man, this is just really nice. I like these pans. And the gauge metal on this is thicker, so it really holds the heat well. And that's important when you're making pastas and, cooking stuff. It's just the almost like a Dutch oven style. So I got that about 3/4 of the way full. Okay. Oops, fill the water. Okay. On this one, we want to put that on full flame. Okay, we're going to run that on high. Want to put a little salt to the water. Of course, I'm using salt and pepper. I like to take my tongs and just stir that in just a little bit. Whoops. No, get that coming up to a boil. Is everyone okay? Okay, now we're going to move some of our items over here to our cooking area. I guess while we're waiting, we can measure out our marsala. If you have it, oh, geez. If you don't have the marsala, it's okay. What?
Sorry.
Oh.
That was my bad.
You're okay. Are we okay, Matt?
Not quite. Hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. My bad again. Okay. We should be good.
Okay. We're going to measure out some marsala. Bar masala. It's pretty reasonable in the liquor store. It's kind of weird going in there buying it, but so we're going to measure out 2 ounces. That's what we'll need for right there. Beautiful. Okay, we'll put the lid back on that. Okay, we're going to keep this over by where we're serving over here. Okay, so now we're going to move our garlic, our shallots, our butter we have over here already, our mushrooms. We're going to move over here to the cooking area. And my salt and pepper here. Just need one of those for one batch. Sorry about that. Is everyone okay to... We can start cooking in here in just 1 second, okay? I need to know where to put my... Oh, it's in this one. Sorry.
Anybody need more time? Thumbs up if you're good. Okay, Richard, Kaylin, Mike's good. Terry, okay. All right, I'm going to switch over to the stove here.
Okay. And this pan is already, it's already almost to a boil, so it's nice and warm. One small interruption, Matt. Do we have a ladle?
To the left of the stove, I believe, or under the or in the island as well, just to where you were standing.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna need a ladle to go with the stock.
Hey, Brian, talk a little bit about the cooking wine. You get it at a liquor store. What are some alternatives if you don't have some on hand?
Okay, so we do have a little secret. If you are uncomfortable going to the liquor store and buying this, it is an uncomfortable feeling. You can go to the grocery store.
Sorry, I did it again.
You can buy a sherry vinegar.
All right.
It does take a little extra time, but you can buy a sherry vinegar, and you can reduce the sherry vinegar, and it almost will duplicate the taste of a Marsala wine. You just won't get the alcoholic part of the wine, and it'll be a tad bit more on the bite side with the vinegar. But it does work. I've manipulated the recipe to where I didn't have no Marsala, so we had to use sherry vinegar. And it's a process that takes about 45 minutes to an hour to reduce vinegar, because you don't want it real hot. You don't want it boiling. You just want a baby simmer. But it does work. But it makes the dish a tiny bit more pungent. And this Krabari here, Krabari comes from a man that was, let's see, he started his winery, I think it was 1859, in the toe part of the boot of Italy. I think his name was Benamino Krabari. So he's one that does this Marsala, or the Krabari cellars.
Awesome.
Hey,
Thank you.
Brian, I did end up finding this Holland House light cooking wine. So I found it just at Walmart.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to try today.
Okay. I would just use a little bit of it, because sometimes those are high in sodium, and
Okay.
when you reduce it, it gets more taste of sodium.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll make it, and we won't use as much of that as we do the regular Marsala. It'll work, because we're basically using this, besides the flavor input of the chicken and everything, we're using it to deglaze our pan. So it'll work, but just use just a little splash. So I'm probably thinking like maybe 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
It's a great tip.
So Daniel wants to know, so I found this white cooking wine and then this sherry cooking wine.
Yeah.
Which one would you suggest for this?
I might try the sherry.
Okay.
The sherry wine would be closer on the lines of the Marsala than the white.
Okay.
I'll see
So
what's in
that white cooking wine, though, Killian, will go really nice with fish, like salmon maybe for Daniel, or a halibut, even shrimp.
Perfect. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, stock is ready back there in the back. We're going to turn that way down to low. We're actually going to turn the stock off, because this is boiling. Our pasta water is starting to roll a little bit. Not quite ready. So a new trick that I have found about pasta, I want to show you guys right now. I've already taken the pasta out of the box, but what I like to do with pasta, because I have a problem, or had a
Hit the
problem,
down button just a little bit.
not anymore.
That'll work. Thanks.
Every time I break my pasta, it makes such a mess and shoot all over the place. And then by the time we got it in, some of the pasta was on the floor. So came up with this idea just to roll it up in a towel. You want to get this really tight, almost like, well, as tight as you can get it. Okay. And then kind of crimp your ends. And then when you break your pasta, there's no mess. So all the pasta's broke. So, and it makes it easier to cook when it's broken in half. So now you can see the finished product, still the same, but it's just all broken half ready. Even pasta there. So that's nice. And this is a clean towel that's been sanitized. So,
Brian, does that also work on ramen noodles? Because we eat that a lot here.
It
I'm
doesn't
just
matter.
joking.
Ramen noodles, man, they like to dance everywhere. So, but it would. I know at home we've done the ramen noodles in plastic bags before and just kind of patted them on the table, put it in a sealed Ziploc and do that. That works too. But this towel is really nice for me. I mean, all the pasta's in there. There's no mess. So
Wonderful.
while we're waiting for our pasta water just to get before we start cooking our chicken, there's one other thing I want to go over with your pan that we're going to cook the chicken in. I like to pre-season my pan, and so what that means to me is earlier I had it on the stove. I got it a tiny bit warm, and I added some cooking spray to it, so you can see that it has just a little bit of oil in there. Okay, or the cooking spray. So it's already been warmed up a little bit, so my pan knows that we're going to start cooking. Okay.
Had one question from Tammy. Would the alcohol cook out? That's a really good question.
That is a big thing, and all the time the alcohol cooks out. Even though chicken marsala, you'll really be able to taste the marsala. But yes, the cooking cooks out. The alcohol cooks out, and especially the way we're doing it, because we're going to be reducing the alcohol, and then we're going to add chicken stock, which is going to reduce it even more to take. So there won't be no alcohol left.
Great, thanks.
Yep. All right. So now we want to come over and we're going to warm up our pan for sauteing the chicken. Okay. I'm going to start this out on low just to heat it up a little bit. So again, I'm only on about 3. My dial goes to 10. So I'm just going to slowly warm that up. And as I warm it up again, I want to just put a little more cooking spray in there. And as it's warm up, yes.
I missed something. Did you already put your pasta in?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, my water's not ready yet. I always like to bring my water to a boil first with the salt in there, and then it gets going, so it holds the temperature really well when you add the pasta. There have been times that I've hurried before and threw my pasta in before it came to a boil, but my pasta didn't turn out exactly the way I wanted it. It ended up taking longer to cook, and then it got overcooked. It was just a bad mistake on mine. That was quite a few years ago, though. So as this pan is warming up, I like to put my hand inside the pan and just feel the heat. Okay, so we want that heat to start coming up through that pan. Okay, before we add any oil. Just let it warm up just slightly. And you can see the flame on there. The flame's pretty small. Okay, compared to what it normally is on high. So you just want that really just low, okay? And now that it's warming up a little bit, we're going to take about a tablespoon of olive oil and just put that in your pan. Okay, we're going to let that olive oil heat up just a little bit. Once the olive oil is heated up, we're going to add butter as well. And the butter is going to help with flavor and the browning of the chicken, the searing part of the chicken. Excuse me. I'm still checking the heat of the pan. So now you can turn it up just a little bit. I'm going from 3 to 5. Okay. Pasta water is almost ready. Oh, it is ready. It's boiling. So I'm going to move my lid off just a tiny bit and just keep that to boil. Let it just boil for about a minute, and then I'm going to put the pasta in. But we're going to cook. You can cook the pasta. So on this pasta, you guys, I didn't do it today, but you're more than welcome to cook the pasta ahead of time and just hold it at room temp with some olive oil and a little salt and pepper on it. And it's beautiful that way. It takes a step out of this recipe that you wouldn't have to do. So we could have done it earlier, but I wanted to do it all together. Okay. So that's still holding the heat pretty well. So I know I don't really need to adjust my heat too much. I'm going to keep it on high. Okay. I'm going to add that pasta real quick before we add the butter to the sauteing pan. Okay. So I'm just going to unroll my towel there, get my pasta, get that in there. And I like to just kind of go back and forth on this, almost like pickup sticks type thing. Reduces the stickiness in there. Whoops, that was my head. Okay, we're just gonna get rid of them little crumbles there. Okay, now our trusty tongs, we're gonna give that pasta just a little stir. Okay, we wanna move that so it's not sticking in there right away. Because if we just let that set, your pasta will stick, and especially fettuccine, because it has quite a bit of a flat side, and so it's easier for it to stick. Especially when you cook this in big batches. Fettuccine really gives you a little trouble. So I'm gonna recover that, but not all the way, just like I had it before, with the lid partially off. And you can see it came right back up to boil really quick. But we want to sustain that heat in there. Okay, so now our pot here, you can see this is the part we're waiting for. You can see that the olive oil is almost is putting off a vapor of smoke, but it's not that hot yet. So now we want to just add, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 little cubes of butter. Okay, and you can just hold that above the heat and just let that melt. While that's doing that, we're gonna start to dredge our chicken. And when we dredge this, we don't want to just do one side, just like that. We want to just press on that just a little bit to get extra flour in there on the chicken to stick it. So I like to do mine and keep them in there in the same little vessel. Okay, and I do each side. Okay, so on this batch here, we're going to cook 3 pieces of chicken. Okay, that's what size pan I. So now that the butter is almost completely melted, I want to insert that chicken. Okay, pasta is okay. You should have a nice sizzle going on. And a little bit of foam from the butter, which is okay. Now, I gotta wash my hands real quick. Use my sanitizer. Rinse again. Yes.
I have the stove on this side because the pan is facing.
Oh, okay. So I should be on this side. So now we want to give that pan just a little shake. Okay, and we want to move our heat up to 7. Okay, so on this one, yeah, 10. Well, 9 and then 10 is high. So we want to go about 7. So that's about 3/4 of the way. Okay, now we want to remove that lid from the pasta, and we can just set it over here out of the way. Want to take them tongs and get that pasta moving again, so it's not sticking. And this pasta is going to take about 7 to 8 minutes to be al dente. Okay, you want to give this pan a shake again. Okay, and you can see how the butter and the olive oil are just marrying together in there in that chicken. And so you can see around the edges of the chicken as well that it's starting to cook really nice. So now is a key moment to when you know you need to flip those. Okay, but we're gonna check one first. So what you do is just lift that edge up, and it's still kind of whitish. You want to just get a tiny bit of brown on there. Okay, so it's about another 30 seconds. Okay. Whoops. You can shake your pan again. Okay, it's time to flip them. Okay, with just a tiny bit of brown around the edges, a nice golden brown, and that butter really helps with that. And it's okay if we go a little bit further than that. Now, we need to add just a few shallots. I just throw them all over because we're going to incorporate them in. So, you want to add some shaved garlic. And on this, it was about a teaspoon of shallots and about 2 teaspoons of garlic. And all the mushrooms that you have, not the whole pack, just the section we have for this batch, which is 1 monkey dish. Okay, now you want to move that around. Okay, get the mushrooms down in that sauce a little bit, in the butter and the oil. Let them chicken breasts continue to cook. I like to lift the chicken a little bit, get the vegetables under there. Okay, and so you notice now that the mushrooms have really soaked up almost all the liquid. But that's okay, because we're going to rebuild some more liquid. Okay, give that a shake again. If it's too hot, just turn it down a number or two. Okay. We're gonna move these pans out of the way real quick. You want to continue to cook. You do need a dry towel over here. Okay. So now you can tell that there is hardly any liquid in there, but barely on the edge. Now is the time that we want to deglaze our pan. You can see the mushrooms are starting to change colors. They're starting to get almost a tannish compared to when they're white. That's good. That's what we want to do. So now you should hear a nice little uproar when we put that in. Ah, that's just wonderful right there. And you can actually see the amber color starting to work. It's beautiful. You're getting a nice simmer on there. Man, and the aroma coming off there, that's incredible. So while that's doing a little reduction, we want to come back over and stir our pasta. And if you didn't set a timer, there's a built-in timer inside your head. You can use that, okay? I'm not really big on timers.
How are we doing with our participants? Are we following along pretty good, or going a little fast? How are we doing? Thumbs up from Carrie?
We're a tiny behind with the mushroom, but other than
That's
that, we're
great.
good.
So now we want to give just a little salt and pepper to the recipe on top right there. So you're just doing a tiny pinch, okay? Plus we're gonna get some salt from the chicken stock. So I'm shaking mine around again, and I can see that my wine is already reducing. Not quite half of what I put in there, almost. So now's the time we want to add a little chicken stock. And of course your container here is going to be hot, so you preferably use a towel. Get your ladle down in there, stir that stock just a little bit, and just put, you're looking at about 2 ounces of stock. And we just want to spread that around. Okay. Okay, now you want to give that a shake again. And now with one of our tasting spoons, we want to just give that a tiny bit of taste. So I just go in the middle. Taste that. Oh, the marsala is wonderful. Dang. But it does need just a tiny pinch of salt and pepper. One more, okay? And that's just a tiny pinch. You're just using your 3 fingers. Your index, your middle, and your thumb. Just a little bit. So as this is reducing, the chicken stock is really helping that. And you can see the sauce that has come back. We're almost like braising the chicken in a way. So now we want that to thicken. So we're going to let it keep reducing and come back over to our pasta. I hope somebody's timing me. It might be off. And you can tell on the pasta, when you look at it, how some of it's still kind of really yellow and some's getting a tiny whitish. We just got a couple more minutes on the pasta, probably 3 or 4. Okay? Our chicken's going really well, and you can see that it's cooking down nice. We want to give that one more taste. Make sure the salt and pepper is right on. Ooh, it tastes right on. So now, to make this sauce to where it's going to thicken a little bit, we're going to add some more yummy butter. Okay? So you want to put at least 7 more cubes in. For some reason, 7 is a good number tonight. Oops, I guess that's 7. Might be enough. And now you just want to shake that around again. Our chicken is just about done in there. Our pasta is almost ready. So we're getting really close on this. If you're really into fresh herbs, Italian parsley, I couldn't find any at the store I went to. They didn't have any Italian flat leaf parsley. But you would want to add that right at the end of this cooking process. So you can see now that the sauce is thickened up all over a little bit, and it looks creamier with that butter added. And butter is just such a wonderful thing. I mean, it makes it so nice. If we threw all the butter in there, it would thin it out. And the butter is going to add a little bit of salt as well. So you want to make sure that you retaste that so it's not too salty. Oh, it's very nice. It's very nice, man. It's creamy. You got the marsala in there. You got chicken. You can taste the mushrooms, the shallots, the garlic. Okay, so that chicken there is done. A way you can tell, the way I do it is I check my chicken by pressing on it, and it should have a springy kind of reflex to it. So we know it's done. So we can actually kill the heat on that. Just let it rest. While it's resting, that will continue to thicken. We don't need to cook it anymore. So now we want to bounce back over to our pasta. Our pasta looks like it's about 1.5 minutes out. So we're just going to focus on this for now. I do have a strainer here.
Brian, Kaylin had a question for you.
Oh, whoops. Sorry, Kaylin.
Hey, Brian. My phone went out, and I didn't see when you added like flour, or did you use the chicken stock yet? Sorry.
Yeah. So where we're at, Kaylin, once we turn the chicken breast. Whoops, I'm supposed to be here. Sorry. Once we turn the chicken breast is when we added the shallots, the garlic, and the mushrooms. Okay, and we let that go for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Then we deglazed the pan with the wine, and that was about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. And then we added 2 ounces of chicken stock. And
and what about the flour? Have you added flour yet?
No, you don't add flour. The flour's on the chicken.
Oh, on the chicken. Okay, I missed that. Okay.
So this is what you want to do then. Let me just show you real quick. You just take your chicken breast and just dredge it in the flour. I can show you real quick. And when you dredge it, do one side and the other, and then press the flour into the chicken a little bit. You don't have to pound it. Just press it with your fingertips. So when your chicken breast comes out, it should look like that, Kaylin. There'll be a little bit. And that's what helps thicken the sauce. Okay. Sorry about that. About your phone. Okay, right out here. So one more time, I'm going to taste that sauce again just to make sure it's okay. I like to taste always frequently because sometimes when it sits, it's reducing more still. So it could get more salty on you if you let it. Oh, man. That's just incredible. I love that. God, that taste is just so good. Woo! So you see our pasta still has a little bit of golden yellow to it. It's just about done. So maybe my timing is off. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Anyways, we're going to move this stuff out of our way.
We have a Facebook comment that my parents taught me the smoke alarm is a good timer.
Are your parents on tonight too, Matt?
I believe so. Yep.
Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so we can leave our knives and stuff here. That's fine. But we're going to use this area for our plating. Oh, whoops. Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to set these right here. I'm just trying to kill like a minute or two while the pasta's cooking still. This is for serving here.
Hey, Brian, question.
Yeah, let's check our pasta one more time. Yes, go ahead.
Is the chicken supposed to be brownish on both sides? You're supposed to brown it?
Richard, if your chicken is brown on both sides, that's nice because it really gives a reflection of the sauce. So if it's a little bit more brown than mine, that's fine. I actually like it just a little bit more crusty. When you bite into it, man, it's got the two different textures, the soft and the crusty, so that's really nice. If that's how you did yours. I was actually probably holding back a tiny bit on the sauteing heat. So if yours was up just a little bit more, that's fine. So our pasta looks like it's ready. It's at the al dente stage, so I'm going to kill that. I'm going to drain it. And so one key thing for this is most of us don't have a China cap at home. I really love these pieces of equipment. We bought this. Kim and I got this a long time ago at the store over there by the Ford dealership. It's just been so handy. It's just a great strainer. And I bought this soup pot too, so I can reserve the water. So that's why I have this kind of setup. I am going to drain it in the sink, so hopefully we can see it. Whoops, need 2 towels. Always use some hot pads or towels so you don't get burned. And then always pour the pasta away from you.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah?
Why would you reserve the water?
Okay, I'm going to show you. This goes back to if you wanted to cook your pasta ahead of time and you wanted just to reheat it. So we're going to go through that right now. So I'm gonna let that water drain off. Okay, and then I'm gonna rinse the pasta to stop the cooking process. And this is just on warm. We don't really need it. You can do straight cold, but then your pasta's cold. So I like to just do a little bit warm because we only want to stop it from cooking. We don't really want it to get chilled. Okay. And when this is kind of one of the things where we've done this a lot. I've done this a lot in restaurants, and so the water that we reserved is way plenty hot for the pasta to reheat itself. Or if you didn't do that, we'd have to have another pot of water on to re-stick it back in there again. So now we want to check one of our pastas. Perfect. So now I can still take that china cap and put it on top of the reserved water and it's not in it. So we'll pour the water over when we're ready to serve. Okay? Just 1 second. Let us cook. I'm going to get some gloves on for the serving purpose. Okay, so let's just say our pasta, we did it a couple hours ago, and we still have that reserved water. You could just keep that pot on the stove and just keep it warm, and then when it comes back to reheating the pasta, you just pour the water back over it, and it's right back up to that temp. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. Just going to pour a little bit of that hot boiling water back over that pasta, and then it's all beautiful and shiny and hot again. Okay, so now we'll bring this over here to our plating up area. Okay, we got some tongs here. We're going to bring our chicken over as well. Let's make room here on this towel. The pasta and chicken can marry each other. And now the sauce in here is really nice and thick. I mean, it is just beautiful. Okay, so 1 tong load of pasta. About 4 ounces right there. I like to put just a little twist on it. So it just kind of makes a nice bed. It'd be nice if I had a pasta fork. Don't have it right now. Okay, then we want to take our chicken and just lay that on there. Just right off to the side a little bit. Okay. We'll put one more piece right there. Okay. Whoop. Now you just want to take that sauce that's on your pan, and just run that over your chicken, and just let that marry into the pasta. The mushrooms and stuff will fall off there, gets all over on there.
Oh man, my mouth is watering like crazy.
So now from my garden today, I mean, I spent a little bit extra time because I was really excited about doing this. So I went and got some fresh rosemary. So we'll take a rosemary right there. Then we're gonna put just one big top of basil on, and we just put that right in the center like that. And so I'll show you a little trick with the tomato real quick on this towel. You don't have a cutting board, but you can just take a paring knife and just cut this back and forth, almost like you're making a bunch of V's on your tomato. And these aromas are from my garden too, and so aroma tomato goes really nice with this recipe. And this is just garnish work. You don't have to do this, but this is nice if you're entertaining your friends. And then you can just prop that out and put that tomato right there, and man, it just livens up that color.
Wow, that's cool.
So, and of course, the tomato looks really cool. I mean, you could always put this one on that side too. But so there will be our chicken marsala. That's about probably about 5 ounces of chicken. We probably only needed to do 3 to 4, but this is kind of a hearty dish, and you know, man, it's just an incredible dish. God, I love it. It's so nice. Not on this dish, but if you needed to serve a vegetable with this, I'd probably recommend like a fresh zucchini, some asparagus, maybe the yellow and the green zucchini together. But that's our chicken marsala for tonight. Thanks, you guys. How's everyone doing on their plating? Is everyone okay?
Yeah, let's check in on everybody. How you doing? Mike and Rachel?
We're doing great. Thanks, Brian.
Great. Oh, I want to see it. Hold on. Let's bring that full screen.
Yeah, let's
Let me see what you did, Mike.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, it looks good, bro. Nice play.
All right, Kenneth Terley, here we go.
Kenneth and Terry. Oh, man, look at the color on theirs.
Nice job.
Looks good.
Sweet. All right, Kaylin, how we doing? Did you catch up to us? Hey, look at that.
Beautiful. Nice.
Well done.
The color in there looks so good. So how did the wine turn out for you, Kaylin, when you tasted it?
I think it's good. I haven't tasted it yet, so I don't know.
Well, maybe this might be the part that you missed too with your phone. While you're cooking that chicken and it's reducing, you want to taste it in each stage. The wine stage, the chicken stock stage, and then after the salt and pepper stage.
Nice. Thank you, Brian.
Hey,
That's fun.
thank you guys.
All right, how did Carrie and Richard do?
Terry and Richard.
Here you go.
Oh, nice. Oh, they even did
Wow.
the tomato. Woo! Way to go,
Look
Rich.
at tomato even.
Man, it looks good. How's your guys' sauce? Did it turn out kind of the way you wanted?
Oh, you guys are on mute, so you gotta
Yeah.
unmute yourself.
How did it turn out, Rich?
Harry says that we're practicing still.
Carrie says you're.
I don't think our glaze didn't come out as glazy as yours did. So. I had a question. How long did you have the heat on the chicken? I think we had it on too long.
A total time on the chicken, it was probably, man, it's got to be between 8 and 12 minutes. So I would probably say 12 minutes. I didn't set the timer, so I don't know exactly on this dish. It's only by cooking by sight and feel, Richard. When you feel your chicken, it should be tender, but still have a little spring. How was your sauce? Did it turn out okay, or did the wine reduce enough?
Oh, you're still on mute. All right.
The longer you reduce your wine, it'll get a little bit darker. So maybe try just a little bit longer next time. Maybe just the heat a little bit lower if it got done too quick.
You want me to do that?
If you want to.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this?
And this dish really, my favorite pasta to go with this is linguine, but we did fettuccine tonight. So the linguine is just, I don't know, it's just really nice with the chicken marsala.
Okay, I want to get people's reactions when you first taste it,
Okay.
unless you already have. So who's ready to taste? Raise thumbs up to ready to taste.
Matt, you want us to bring you some?
Looks like Mike. I'll come up in a second.
Okay. So I've already had some, and it's like amazing. Go ahead.
Okay. Really good. Really good. I don't even like mushrooms, and I like this.
Yeah, that's my thing too, Kat. I'm not a mushroom fan. I love cooking with them. I love cooking for other people and using them, but I'm not a mushroom fan. But in this dish, it's yummy.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if we could zoom in here or not, but on this dish, it really, I'll show you with my paring knife. So besides the mushrooms that we have that's accompanying, we have that sliced garlic. So when you get those right next to each other, right there, that garlic, man, when you have that, that's not too much, but it's really nice with the mushroom. Like those just go hand in hand on this dish.
All right, Richard and Carrie, you ready?
Yeah. So we weren't left with much of a sauce left
Okay.
after cooking. So I'm wondering if we just didn't put enough in, or if we cooked it away, or
It could cooked away, Richard, but what we could have done was adjust the heat a tiny bit lower, and you could add maybe a little bit more chicken stock, a little bit more wine, and a little bit more butter.
Okay.
So you don't have to really be shy on the wine. I used probably the minimal. Like if you really want it to be Marsala-y, man, you could have put 2 more ounces. But it's heavy Marsala when you taste it. So for not this dish, but for a beef filet mignon that we do a beef filet Marsala, I usually use double the amount for the beef. But it's really rich. And so it really pairs nice with the beef. Not as well as the chicken, but it's good that way. So next time, try just a little bit more wine, lower the heat a little bit, and add just maybe an ounce or two more chicken stock. And then just when you're reducing, I mean, we still got lots of butter, of course, right here. I'm still making a few more batches, but you could have put a few more cubes, and that would have helped stretch it out.
Brian, what do we need to do to the pan for the next batches? Do we add more olive oil or just butter?
Okay, so what I do, I still have some sauce and mushrooms in there. You'd want to put it in another dish. We could just put it on another plate. That's why I have the spatula. We could just put that out on another plate. Someone can nibble on it if they want, I guess. And then what I like to do, and it's usually when this is a little bit more warmer, not hot, but just warm. I like to just put a rinse on that, just enough to get the gunk out of it. So you can see that there's still a little bit of stuff in there, a little bit of scale around the side and stuff.
Okay.
You just want to take a dry towel that you use only for cooking and just wipe that out, and it should just all come right out. And then you take your pan and just give it a spray again. This is just the, and then just start all over again. Of course, I'm not supposed to show you the label, I guess. But so this you can put this in a little monkey dish too, and if someone's really into mushrooms, they could just have it like a little bowl of soup.
I'll take that part.
But it looks nice. So we're really after that color of the mushroom and that stuff right there. That golden kind of color.
All right, Kenneth and Tara Lee, we're ready for a reaction. Are you guys ready for it yet? Hold on, you got it muted. Oh, there we go. We're on mute now. Okay, we can hear you.
All right, let me get a little bit of this chicken.
Yeah, get some mushrooms, some garlic, a little bit of sauce. Let it coat that pasta.
Mmm. Yep.
I'm a chef
You
now.
are.
That's awesome.
You guys did great.
Well, I'm excited to try it. I just got to run upstairs, but I can't let the cameras go. So I'll have to try it a little bit later.
That's right, Matt. We're gonna cook some more for you.
That's right.
Hey, Brian. Thank you so much. We've already got some more chicken in the pan. It's
Oh, really?
seriously good. And I'm not a super fan of mushrooms either, but you know, you mix it with shallots, garlic, butter, and a little bit of wine.
Oh man, they just marry together so well, man. It's
And I
wonderful.
love that you don't even need a sauce for the noodles or the pasta because it's all built in the chicken and everything like that.
Yes,
So,
and we did it. And the reason why we did it this way tonight is this is how it would be done in a restaurant for you. When you go out to eat at an Italian restaurant, they're going to build their chicken marsala pretty much the same way. Except the only difference you're going to get in a restaurant is they're going to have this mass production, and they're probably going to do it in like 10 minutes. We kind of took our time tonight. The thing about we did the prep, all the stages and stuff, and then we set things up on our stove, and then we cook. All that in a restaurant is just already ready. So they usually like on their cook stoves, they'll usually have cold drawers under here, all the chicken's there, the flour's there. They just throw it right in the pan. They have all their other stuff lined up here. And so the prep part's already done for them. Their prep cook comes in and does it. So it's nice that we went through all the stages. But you can make this dish if you had all this prepped ahead of time and you came home after work and, man, I got to make everyone dinner in a half hour. You can do this in 20 minutes.
Sweet.
And anyone can do it. I mean, it's a simple dish, but man, it's so complex in the flavors. Daniel, did you get to try it?
No, I'm not allowed.
You're not allowed yet?
He wanted to go give it to our neighbors that let us have the sharing.
Nice.
But we're gonna try this, and I'm gonna make them some other. So.
You ready?
Plus, I've been making a salad.
Yes, it's nice to have a little salad, some fresh greens, some spring. Probably not gonna have any more spring greens, but some fresh spinach. Baby spinach goes really nice in the salad, especially if you have a garden at home and you still got some vegetables left. You can throw them in there. Of course, I like to grow the fresh herbs too, so I really have this stuff on hand. I mean, the season's almost over, but man, it just it's nice to be able to go out in your yard and pick this stuff.
Her face says it all.
How is it? Oh, she's okay.
I love mushrooms, and this was delicious.
Ah, sweet.
Daniel likes mushrooms, so it's delicious.
Brian, remind me how much chicken stock to put in with each batch.
So on this one, this is actually about a 3-ounce ladle. I didn't do it completely full. I only put in about 2 ounces. But if we put 3 ounces, you would still be okay. It would just give it a little bit more time to cook down, and still doesn't burn the marsala. Because if we just tried to do that with just the wine without chicken stock, it would eventually just dry up. And even if you threw butter in there, the butter would eventually just burn without the chicken stock. This chicken stock is almost like a balancer, an in-betweener. So it really helps. Plus the dish is chicken, so the chicken stock adds more flavor to the chicken.
Awesome. Well, with your guys' permission, I'm going to wrap up the live feed. We can all stick on afterwards just to have a little after chatter if you'd like. But for those people who are viewing or viewing it later in time, you're welcome to join us next time. Feel free to subscribe, and that way you'll be notified that we're going to go live. And if you want to follow along with us, we'll send you recipes or at least the shopping list beforehand if you want to follow along. And if you want to participate, like all of our participants here today, feel free to get a hold of us, and we'll get you on live for the next round. Chef Brian, thank you so much for this event. I was just a participant in watching, and I was thoroughly entertained, so I really appreciate your time. Thanks, participants, everybody that was on there. You guys are fantastic. Thanks so much for joining in, and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.